Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Time Vision Talks. Today, our topic will be millennial money management, the triple M. My name is Nazar. This is
Maz?
and this is
Omar.
okay. And today we're going to be talking about how to spend your money. How do you want to invest it? How to
manage it.
Yeah, like so it can talk about a lot of things. Like managing it can be like how to invest it and how to spend it. How to take care of your money, kind of. On a like throughout your whole life kind of thing.
Life.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like how we manage our own money, or like what we think how we should manage our money in like this day and age in terms
Especially for us as millennials,
As millennials.
compared to like baby boomers and
yeah.
us before.
Oh yeah, because every generation has to have like a different plan for money management because the economy is different, the world is different, everything is different in terms of in countries like income, inflation, all that. So millennials is a group of people born from 1981 to 1996, and we're all born in 1994. So we're definitely millennials, so that we know how to manage our money in different ways, how we manage our money. We're going to talk about that, and
yeah, we're gonna bring our own life experiences. We've all been there. So we're gonna bring our own life experiences. Any advice we have, we're gonna share it.
right, the things we've learned over like our lives living in Canada and Toronto, one of the most expensive cities in North America.
So I have a question to you all. So what is money management to you? Like, what's your personal experience in that? How can you manage your money in the most sufficient way?
Money management to me is making sure I have money in the bank saved, for sure. Making sure that whenever I need liquid cash, I have access to it, and I have even access in funds that for emergencies. So my personal rule is like ever since like I've been in high school or anything, so everything in I've always had a rule that I have to have $1,000 in my bank all the time. Like this is like 1,000, not savings, but it's $1,000 for like emergency fund. That's what mine is. So like in case like maybe your car breaks down or like you have to get something new, some like medical emergency. So always I would keep like $1,000 like it's my buffer. So anything on top of that I would use it as like expenses and everything,
Right,
invest it. But
right.
that's my personal money.
Yeah.
But the 1,000 was always my lower limit. This was back in high school. The lower limit that no matter what, I'm not touching this money.
Yeah.
This is that. So I'm not investing and I'm not doing anything with it. This is like emergency fund for me. So money management to me is basically making sure that in every aspect of your life you have access to funds to do whatever you want, and you have a plan, like a secure plan going forward in terms of like how much is coming in every month, how much is going out every month. Basically, just having a plan to know that your income is more than your outgoing or like expenses.
Exactly.
So that to me is what money management is.
And
Yeah.
it's 100% right. Having things on paper is the best way to do it.
Exactly.
So like
Budgeting.
Exact budgeting. Me personally, by the end of either at the beginning of each month or at the end of each month, I bring a piece of paper and a pen, and I write down all of my expenses towards the end of the month, like how much money is going out of my paycheck towards those expenses. So I put those aside. Then I put how much money I need for my personal expenses to spend and how much money I need for saving.
Right.
So I will write all these down in a piece of paper, and then when the paycheck comes or when the end of the month arrives, I just
Like all the
scratch
bills
out,
go out
scratch
and
out.
everything.
Exactly.
Okay.
So this way everything is calculated, and then you can just like with consistency, you will start seeing results, and that's how
It comes
you
with a
build
plan.
yourself.
You have to be consistent with it. You just start off like at one point and then it just goes, okay, this month I did this, next month. So you have to get in a flow.
Exactly,
basically, how to
especially
manage.
if your paycheck is like, especially if your
fixed.
salary is like $3,000, then you're gonna be in a tight budget
True.
where you really have to do this because it's very effective, But just having in your mind is really you're gonna get lost.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The money's gonna go somewhere.
writing down
and
is
then
key. Yeah.
You need
it
to have like a
will-
visual representation kind of to see
Exactly,
what's going on.
and then the best feeling is when you scratch things out, and money puts a lot of people under pressure. So if you know how to manage your money in the most effective way, you can simply
Like it reduces a lot of
eliminate
stress,
that
a
pressure.
lot of different
Exactly, and in a country like Canada, everything you have to pay for it. Everything
yeah,
is
it's
like
very
every
expensive
service you
living
have
in
to
this
get,
city.
you
Very.
gotta pay for it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think if you come up with your own way to how manage your money in the most effective way, you'll be on the right path.
Right.
Like with money management, like of course it's a matter of like what comes into your like bank, or like what comes in for you like in terms of money and like your income. and then what goes out. So you gotta know, you gotta balance between
Yeah,
both.
the income and out.
Yeah, you gotta know what expenses you have, like you said, and of course you always have to have an emergency, like a backup kind of emergency.
sure,
Like
sure.
because you never know what's gonna happen. There's
Yeah.
a lot of uncertainty.
Each month something comes up.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
wanted to buy
Unforeseen
something.
circumstances.
You like something. You
Yeah,
know, you have a
especially-
trip, so you gotta have money. You gotta be. You cannot tight yourself. You know,
Exactly.
you have to.
You have to plan, and
you
also
have to
it depends.
give. You know, you have to give room to yourself. like,
Exactly,
Yeah.
breathing
So,
room.
yeah.
Like, yeah, and also depends a lot on your lifestyle and what work you do. So you
For
have
sure.
you should know how much you're coming in every month. If you have like one source of income, two sources of income, if it's like a fixed amount of income or variable income, so you have to plan accordingly. You can't have like a fixed source of income, but like every month your expenses are increasing, right? You have to increase your income as well. So you have to plan that. You have to like look forward or like kind of time travel a bit and know that okay, next month this is gonna happen, so I have to plan accordingly. It's all about, to me, it's like planning.
Yeah, you have to live life according to your income.
To your income,
Exactly.
Your
It's
lifestyle
literally-
has to be.
Your
you can't-
lifestyle has to
It's
match
day
that.
by day, week by week, month by month,
But
as you know, as you progress.
True. That's
But
what. Oh, sorry.
there are like, of course, like with that comes like, how do you say, like stable kinds of expenses that you know about already.
Like fixed
So like,
expenses.
Yeah. So like, but some millennials, like they're very irresponsible. Like they'll be like, they have like bare credit cards, like
Oh yeah.
3, 4 credit cards, and they just fall into debt easily. Like they don't know how to manage their money, and it's like, it's simple. Just don't spend more money that you're not,
That you don't have. So
then you're not making. Like
Exactly.
it's
I want to give an
Stupid mistake.
example, like
Yeah.
about credit cards. So let's say you used $1,000 of, from your credit card, and then the end of the month comes, and then you're gonna say, oh, you know what? I gotta pay off that credit card. I gotta
Yeah.
pay it off, and then you're just putting so
You're
much
just
pressure
stressed,
on
yeah,
yourself.
pressure.
But to be honest, if you just take it easy, once you put things on paper, one of the expenses that can go towards your credit card is probably 250
Yeah.
of your
Yeah,
paycheck,
yeah.
and then if you do that every 2 weeks, within so if it's $1,000, that's within 8 weeks.
Yeah, you're done.
It's paid off.
Key thing, writing
It's-
it all down.
It's paid off. So
yeah, like even like
just,
millennials.
it takes time. It's just
Like millennials are like tech savvy, so like even like using Excel. Excel is like
True.
the best way. You just have
Excel,
everything
but even
down.
like a bank accounts now, they have like your bank app has like this much is coming in, this much is going out, and then they
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
adjust
They
accordingly.
show you, like,
yeah, they
the-
show the stats,
Yeah.
the
the
insights.
pie graph of like how much
Yeah.
money you're spending and like compared to like how much is going out.
Yeah,
And
and
what kind of
Expenses there are like travel,
yeah,
food,
like
this,
travel,
that,
like
all
if
of
it's
that.
like transportation, whatever. So like it's easy to find. It's easy to know like how much you're spending and how much you're making. And then another thing is of course investing money. Like how do you make
Key.
your money work for you? Like a big thing to do is never, no matter how experienced you are, never like leave money just to sit like in your account. Just
Right.
let it work for you. Like invest.
Invest in
For
different
sure, for
places, different like stocks
Yeah.
or like cryptocurrency
Yeah.
or like in terms of like property. So something like if you have a lot of savings, put it to use. Don't let it just sit in the bank, as he said. Like let it work for you.
Even if it's like $500, like bro, even if it's like $100, whatever,
Well,
any
you gotta
kind
start
of money
somewhere.
you can put it, especially like in stocks, anything works. Like find some good like penny stocks if you have like $100. If you have like $1,000 at least, you can put like in some good companies. If you have companies that you're passionate about, you have some knowledgeable companies that you know about. Just
Yeah,
put that
just-
money in there. Wait for like a few months, a couple of years. It'll be worth it in the end. Like just don't let your money sit at the bank not doing shit. for you.
especially real estate right now
Real
is
estate.
one of the biggest investments you can do. And
Exactly.
I wish it was something that we have
Yeah,
done,
but that again goes back
years
to where you're living, where the city, because where we're living is Canada, and we're living in Toronto. It's like it's one of the
Hotspots.
most
it's-
expensive cities in North America.
At this
Toronto.
point, it's difficult
It's
to make
difficult.
it happen.
Yeah.
That's what like one thing I have is
That's
that
why people go a bit further.
yeah they go like
from
outside
the
the city to
city
live in
to-
terms of like
Sacrifice for a couple of years and then
come back and but again for the money management I would say is like don't have for millennials it's much easier for millennials rather than baby boomers or the previous generations but have multiple sources of income. You can't
Yeah.
just have one source of income because one thing that COVID taught us is that people that had a single source of income when they lost their job they lost everything.
Yeah.
And they only had their savings and then obviously CERB came in and helped out but then they bled into their savings a lot.
And if you do have one source of income, just make sure you know how to manage your money.
Exactly, because if you lose that one source of income, you have nothing. It's kind of like a I don't want to say table or like a crutch.
Yeah.
Like if you lose one, and then now you have nothing else to stand on, right? But
And-
like it's like or the other way around. If it's a
And-
table,
Yeah.
like
we
if you
can
lose one, you
clearly
still have
see
three,
that
right?
that the effect of or the impact of COVID-19 is causing inflation
Even
in,
higher.
in every market.
Yeah, it's
Food
ruining everything.
industry,
Yeah, food industry is like ravaged.
real
the
estate.
Real estate actually went higher, but the airline industry is like done.
Exactly,
The people that were
so-
working in the airline industry, their jobs are completely gone. Like they might never even come back. So that's why, like for me personally, I'd say is have multiple sources of income. That goes to even like investing in stocks, investing in properties, and like just other things you can do to make your money work for you, or pick up like other things like hobbies that you do on your
Yeah.
side. You can get paid for it, like in terms of like
Photography,
photography, video. If you have like singing, try YouTube. YouTube
Yeah.
also like your own channel. Just do something where you have other sources of income to rely on in case one gets taken down, because having anything on single source is dangerous, especially living in a
especially
city.
at this time with a lot of uncertainty with COVID.
Very
Yeah,
uncertain,
it's like
yeah.
you never know what's gonna happen.
Turnover, yeah.
A huge turnover. And if you want to try to make it in the city or live in the city, like buy a house, for millennials, it's almost impossible to buy a house. Like the average house in Toronto is like what, $1 million,
Yeah,
Almost, like, that's
I
where it
even
is.
checked like in Newmarket.
800,000 to 1 million.
800.
And like the
Like-
average salary in Toronto is like what, around like 40. Like the numbers don't justify living in the city. You can't.
Yeah,
It's like the average. What was the minimum wage? $14.
Yeah.
15.
15.
Yeah, 15.
Oh, it's
yeah.
No,
15.
it's
Oh, no, they
actually-
changed it?
it is. They
But
have
they
not
haven't changed it
yet.
So it's
14.
15.
Still
So if we
14.
do like quick
Oh, true.
calculation, how many hours do you work like a month maximum?
Let's say 40.
No, a month.
Oh, a month. 40
That's
times.
160.
Yeah, 40 times 4.
So 160 times
14.
14. Oh, shoot. 160 times 14. 2,240.
That's nothing.
And the
yeah,
average
it's-
rent in Toronto for a one-bedroom apartment is how much?
It's
2,100.
It's not possible.
The
That's
only,
that's
the only
why
way you can do that is if you
if you've
live
been
with
saving.
someone.
Yeah,
or
you
if
have
you've
to
been
have someone
saving
else
at a
living
very
with you.
young
Yeah,
age.
because so if your income is 2,240, which is the minimum income with a minimum wage, and your rent is 2,100, which an average bedroom apartment in Toronto costs, you have $100 for gas, food, clothing, everything. The
it's
numbers
not-
don't
it's not
justify
doable.
it, right?
It's not
So that's why,
doable.
like in terms of getting high-paying job and just have multiple sources of income, I would say that's my advice for money management. Have multiple sources of income.
That's a good point still. Like that's how I do it. Like you have to have like
You have
more
to
than
have a
one
goal.
stream.
You
You
have
have
to
to
have
have
a
one
goal.
stream.
You have to have a goal.
Like,
and
what are you working towards? What are you saving up for?
So just to end this off, what advice would you give others when it comes to money management? And what advice would you give them? I know they have stated that already. But
I would say
if
my
you can
top
just
ones
restate it.
are have a buffer room. Basically, have like as my rule was $1,000 minimum in your account for emergency funds in case anything goes wrong, anything happens. You have access to that fund. So you need to have at least something in liquid cash in case things go wrong. You never know, emergencies happen like COVID and all that. You need to have that
100%.
and invest for sure, and also have multiple sources of income. So these three are my rules, I would say, for money management.
What about you, Nizar?
Okay, for me, like of course, like speaking of personal experience, like for me, it's just as I agree with Maz, is like having more than one stream of income. You have to have something like you have to have more than one like kind of income that comes from different like sources. you know, like,
But that's only if you're capable of having
Capable.
more.
That's the
than
thing.
one.
So work
so, like-
towards that.
Right?
well,
Yeah.
my next point is going to be like like if you don't have like
That's when investing
a lot
comes
of
into
yeah,
play.
if you don't have a lot of money to work with, you need to have good planning, good management to see like you have to like visualize, as you said, how to spend your money,
Exactly.
what
Write it
you're
down.
spending on. So you have to know
You have
what
to think
comes
from
in.
all aspects.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You have to know what you're taking in and what's coming out. It's
Exactly.
as simple as that. Like
Yeah, because
I can't
it's
make
give
it any
and
simpler.
take.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
give and
So
take.
adjust your lifestyle.
You have to know
to
your
your
limits.
income.
You have to
Know
know
your
your
limits.
limits.
It's give and
Key.
take.
Yeah, you have
Know
to
your
see
limits.
you don't spend a lot of money on shit that you can't buy. Just like with like credit cards, as
Yeah.
I mentioned.
Or
Like
something that can wait. You don't necessarily.
I use
have to
credit
get
cards
it
as
now.
debit cards, to be honest. When I tell me I use my credit card, I pay it right then. Like
Yeah.
literally, it's my debit card, my credit card. I don't use it as a
Yeah.
credit card. Like I don't do month to month. I don't know. It's my fear.
Which is good. Which is great.
I just use it as that.
everyone has a different budget.
Exactly.
You have to know your own budget and like what the limit is. It's that simple.
Just set your
Don't
own limits. Set your limits.
don't go off on just like spending money on stupid shit you don't need. Just like
Swear to God.
your life is
Just
more important than
materialistic
Nice.
things.
materialistic things. Yeah.
My advice would be, if your salary is like $3,000 like mine, just and you wanna save and manage your money well, just write your expenses, write everything down on a piece of paper, and then just keep track on what you're spending, how much you're spending, and I'm sure you will. I'm sure you'll be able to manage your money extremely well.
Yeah, that's it for today's topic. as we always mention, you know, make comments, you know, see what you guys want to talk about later. Like our video, subscribe, share it, and see you guys next time on Time Vision Talks. Peace out.
Take care.